podcast studios. This is After 9 with Scott and Kat.
Happy motherfucking Friday!
Yeah!
Ooh, Dave Lazar joins us. Hello.
Hi, how are you? I'm good. It feels backwards in here, though. We're sitting in different spots. I don't know what's happening.
So what we're doing here is we're gearing up for the big summer break. Did we tell you, by the way, we're taking After Nines off in August?
Wait a minute.
Did I tell you that?
You're doing this right here?
I think
like in front of all of these listeners?
Yeah, but we already told the listeners. We just haven't told Dave yet, I don't think.
Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, Scott has something to tell you.
What do you need to tell your boss?
Look at Scott.
We have, in an arbitrary but not arbitrarily way, decided that we're going to take August off from the pod and just give ourselves a little bit of that summer vacation that we never really get because we do a daily podcast after work.
You know what's the best of the...
Am I coming off defensive?
No,
By
go
summer
ahead.
vacation, he means some of the summertime perks, I think, is what you mean, right?
Yeah, we never get to leave the office early if all your work's done and all that sort of shit that all the other offices get to do. So we're
I
taking...
told you he's not going to like this.
No, I know. I'm trying to put some spin on, or some shine on shit here.
We'll rip off the Band-Aid. We're going to take a hiatus from the podcast just for the month of August because the truth is we have some vacation time booked anyway. So we figured instead of just giving you guys some loosey-goosey stuff here and there, we're going to come back with a brand new season in September, right after Labor Day, and we're going to go so fucking hard. It's going to be crazy. I don't know. I was trying to make it sound better.
I know that.
I think I made it sound weird.
Hearing you say it does sound desperate.
So hard. I'm like, what are we doing with the podcast?
Does sound desperate. Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
It makes sense. Summer's a hard time for everyone to keep up with the day-to-day, to be honest. And
yeah.
Schedules get so different for people during the holidays and for the summer holidays at least. And it gives them a chance to catch up. I
think you'll be able to appreciate what I went through last night. I had a total from my childhood deja vu flashback moment. I was talking to my girlfriend and I was in a bit of a rush because I just finished up all the work I had to do. And I said to her, hey, I'm going to go walk the dog so that I don't miss Hulk Hogan. And I thought, I said this once as a kid. I'm going to go walk the dog now so I don't miss Hulk Hogan. The difference being it wasn't 9 p.m. on a Thursday night. It was like Saturday night's main event or the Saturday morning wrestling show. You got to get your chores done before the Hulkster comes on.
Hogan and Bundy in a cage.
Yes,
Hogan
exactly.
and Orndorff, brother.
Do we start with Hogan, by the way, now that we're talking about Hogan? Oh, and by the way, what Dave was alluding to, when Dave said, what's going on here, it's because I'm producing the podcast today, which I do on occasion. Mainly, though, Scott does it.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to be producing it because he wants to get the hell out of here and golf, I believe.
Well, you make it sound like I'm fucking the dog here. No, I've got to go and play golf. It's an important task that I've assigned myself.
Important task.
I didn't mention it when he was ranting about his good things and privilege and this guy golfs how many times a week? Well, my ass is in an office staring at the computer screen.
We go different paths in life. You chose to go to management, and now you have to sit in an office until you're 80.
Would you want to switch lives with each other at any point in time? Either of you?
I would do that.
Yeah, just for like a couple days or like a week,
Couple
or
days.
like you're talking forever.
I'll make some changes that need to be made around here, and then hand it back to Dave.
I knew it.
No, I don't want to trade. I'm good.
Hulk Hogan is in the news because he did show up. We were talking yesterday on the pod, Dave, about the fact that Hulk Hogan was going to be there. Donald Trump came out, officially accepted his nomination. Nobody's shocked by that. Here's Mr. Hulk Hogan.
But after everything that's happened to our country over the past 4 years and everything that happened last weekend, I can no longer stay silent. Brother, I'm here tonight because I want the world to know that Donald Trump is a real American hero.
A hero.
As he promotes his
And
beer.
I'm proud to support my hero as the next president of this United States.
It's these. Yeah. Anyway, Hulk Hogan there last night. Dana White came out. Kid Rock came out. It was weird because the first part of the convention, and I've watched all 4 days of it, they'll have a lot of like, here's a senator, here's the former Secretary of State, here's this and that.
Yeah.
Night 4, leading up to Trump, was very, very Americana. Kid Rock, Dana White, Hulk Hogan appeals to a very specific portion of the audience, I feel like.
You got to know your audience.
And I think Trump does. I thought Hulkster gave an interesting speech. He started off as Hulk Hogan, and then he said, but I just play a character on TV. My name's Terry Bolella, and I'm an American citizen, and I don't like what's going on around here. And then he went into doing that. But then he went back into doing the Hulk Hogan thing at the end.
Yeah.
So he ripped the shirt off and everything. It was just like right before he body slammed King Kong Bundy.
It just, what a farce. All
farce.
of it, a farce. It's such a farce. It was a farce when the Dems did it. It's a farce when the Republicans, it's just... Is anybody talking about what they're going to do for the country? No, it's a big dick suck contest. That's all this is right now. And then you got Trump walking around with that big pad on the side of his head. Come on. First of all, you don't need that. You know that. That's a prop. And then you see all these people in the audience wearing it too. Who's the sheep now?
Right.
Come on. I'm so sick of it.
He got shot in the head. Of
No,
course
he
there's
didn't.
going to be a Band-Aid.
He got glass that hit him in the head.
Oh, you're the conspiracy theorist
Wait a
who doesn't
minute.
believe there was a shooting, is there?
No. There's shooting. It
Yeah.
hit the teleprompter, and the glass shattered, and it cut him.
It went through his ear. A bullet
Yeah.
went through his ear.
The bullet didn't go through his ear. The glass did. The glass cut him. The bullet didn't hit him.
I did not
Interesting.
expect a conspiracy theory
Interesting.
from
Not a
Dave.
conspiracy theory.
You and your fake news spreading,
What?
you know, and I remember
How
how
dare you.
outraged you were when I brought up that the results of that election. There's something fishy about that, and I was a
'cause
conspiracy theorist.
That's apples to apples. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, you did ask, what's he going to do? I watched about 45 of the 90-minute speech.
That was insane.
Crazy. The longest presidential nomination acceptance speech in history.
Didn't it start late too? What time did he finish?
Well, I
He's
think
still going, I think.
I think they're trying to appeal to a West Coast audience. I don't know, but I mean, dude,
They're trying to speak to people in the Philippines at this point. Like,
you can't wrap up your speech at 1:45 for fuck's sake.
It's
Come
not
on.
the fucking Olympics.
So anyway, they say the things that stood out as themes in Trump's speech were unity amongst America and the assassination attempt on him last weekend. There is a promise to deport anyone who crossed into America illegally, bring interest rates down quickly, and immediately start drilling to create more gas to bring down gas prices, which they say would bring down the other prices.
okay, do it. Do it, because you didn't do it the first time.
What do you mean he didn't do it the first time?
The first 4 years were you will count that as successful?
Yes. Will you please stop fucking watching CNN? It is.
I don't watch CNN. What are you talking
where are you getting
about?
this information from? He had one of the most historic presidential runs in history.
What was accomplished?
Where do you? How about this? Just one accomplishment. If I had to name one, not one single war. Not one.
come
This is the
on.
candidate of peace.
I think you're trying to
Maybe
rile me up here.
worldly peace, but I don't know about in his own country.
There was no wars when Donald Trump was president. There was a lot of them when Obama and Bush and Biden were president. Trump's the only one who didn't get America into conflict. Isn't that an accomplishment? I would think. The economy was roaring. Everything was good until COVID hit. And then things went a little south. Listen,
You
they
could
tried
blame
to
that on
portray
COVID too, though.
They tried to, everybody was so hung up on tweets and shit like that when he was president, and they made a circus out of everything. At the end of the day, I think that if they had given him the same treatment they gave other presidents, then I don't think it would have been nearly as bad as it seemed to be as a Canadian looking down at what's going on in America. We got our own circus up here. Let's keep that in mind.
Fucking right we do.
But anyway, I disagree with you, Dave. I don't think it was a failure of a presidency, and I think the American people want it back the way it was 4 years ago.
All right.
You don't
All
think
right.
so?
No, I disagree, but we're not going to get anywhere with this conversation.
No. But I mean, I think it's important to have. I think regular people are having these
I think people have
conversations.
revisionist history.
I think that people who don't like Donald Trump will do absolutely anything they can to make sure that everybody else feels the way they do, and I don't see it that way.
Am I doing
can admit
that?
good
Am I
things
trying to make you think ill of the guy? I mean, I'm telling you what I think, and I'm not trying to push it on anybody, but I shake my head watching this because this isn't politics anymore. This isn't what this is. This is shock and entertainment. That's what this has become. People are watching because they want to see the oohs and ahs, not because they're really concerned about what they're going to do. It's a gong show. That's what it's been devolved into.
It's a fight too between all the people there.
And this weekend we'll find out who Trump is going to be running against because
Oh my God,
Joe
that's
Biden
another
is
thing.
expected to drop out of the race on Sunday. And we might be having a completely different conversation next week when it's Donald Trump versus Oh, I don't know. Andrew Cuomo. He would be the best person for the job, by the way. I'd even consider voting for him if I could.
At this point, though, I think we all know
him.
that Joe Biden needs to do what Joe Biden needs to do, which is he's not well, man. I don't think so. From my thought process, from me personally, I'm not his doctor, but the guy needs to rest. The guy needs to rest and enjoy the rest of his days and not be paraded around. And I feel for him now, because now it's like that's going to be his legacy, and I feel for the guy. I really do. But whatever, not our presidents,
Not our pig, not our farm.
not our pig, not our. I mean, in a way, it's like the farm across the street. So like you kind of you gotta pay attention and care. But yeah, you're right. You don't gotta fucking crop the. I don't know. Give me a farm analogy. You don't got to pick up that shit.
Well, is the farm in Wilmot? Because the region of Waterloo might expropriate it if it is. Okay, so listen, we're going to move on, because I think everybody is going to, no matter whether you watch the news or listen to talk radio or podcasts or whatever today, you're probably going to hear a lot of conversation about it. So we're going to leave it there. I do want to get to the stars that we've interviewed, because somebody asked, could you talk about this in the podcast? Great opportunity to do it when Dave is here, and we will get to that coming up in just a few. But before we get to it, a couple things that are on the go here. Number one, we talked on our radio show anyway. I don't know if we did it on the pod. Did I talk on the pod about how the Canadian government bought a luxury billionaire row penthouse in New York City?
We definitely did talk about it on the pod, yep.
And we wondered, well, what are they going to do with the old place that the consul general was living in? We don't know the answer to that yet. However, Global Affairs Canada now says the Manhattan apartment, which is currently being used by our ambassador to the United Nations, also in New York, that ambassador, Bob Ray, is going up for sale for an undisclosed amount. So I don't know if we're evicting Bobby Ray there out of his apartment, or maybe we're recalling the ambassador. I don't know, but I'm really wondering, how much real estate does the government of Canada own in New York City, and how many of them are these big billionaire row penthouses?
Is that not public knowledge? Like, can we not just like whip up Canada.ca there, the great fucking website? Can we not just whip? Oh, sorry, I should watch my language. We've got a baby present.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, Ellie.
This is gonna be the weirdest podcast. Everyone's listening to.
Ellie.
Like, what's happening?
When Kat realizes she's got to clean up her language, yeah.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi, Crystal. Okay, hi, Ellie. How are you?
Hi.
Talk in the microphone? No. At 16 months, they usually don't.
She pushed it. She said,
Well, not for free.
I'm not talking to the press.
Yeah.
No press.
She was banging on the door. She's like, I heard you talking about politics. Let me in.
We figured we'd go right to the future. Let's talk to our future here. Ellie, what do you think?
Tell us what's going on. Will there be a country? Or is this whole thing
Jury's out on that one.
Yeah, or is this whole thing a mess? What do you think? Yeah, she's stoic. She's thinking
yeah,
about
I
it.
understand. A lot of people are that shocked.
You know what?
Right
Don't
now.
rush to your answer. No, that's smart. That's
Take your
smart.
time.
Take your time and think about it.
Cutie
Good for
pie.
you. Yep.
We were talking about the Hulk Hogan a minute ago, the power of the wrestling audience. Netflix just added in 1 quarter 8 million new subscribers, almost all of it exclusively being attributed to the WWE going to Netflix.
It was smart. It was so smart of them, though. That made a lot of sense. That made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, of course. It's great. What a brilliant move by Netflix. Profit is up 44% year over year. This was great that they did it. I just can't wait to watch it. I want to see what WWE streaming on Netflix looks like compared to the way it's on now.
I'm waiting for the cost of it, because you know it's not going to be part of your membership.
Really?
I think it will be.
You
I think it
think
is.
so?
Yeah. I don't think they're
You
going to
think
charge
they're just
extra.
hoping for more subscribers, and they're not going to charge extra for anything at all?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think they can. I don't think you can say, hey, it's coming to Netflix, and then, oh, and by the way, now you got to pay for it. I don't think you can do that to people. I think it's going to be included, and I think it's going to be incredible.
So
I'm
are you
excited.
happy
I
it's
mean-
free or angry you were wrong?
No. First of all, we don't know yet that that's the case. I think they are going to have specials that they're going to charge for. They're going to change things. Ellie agrees with me, see? So I think that they will inevitably have some, I'll mark this down because I will go back to it, because I do believe that they're going to make you pay for something.
Kat has one note in her book.
What is it, Raw?
Be right.
Prove yourself right, and the date. I think that eventually they're going to try to profit on top of what they do. It's like when things are ad-free for a while. It's always cushy in the beginning, but then boom,
That's
more money.
one of the big questions that's come up, because Thank you. Raw airs on traditional TV.
Yes.
So when it moves to Netflix, it won't need commercial breaks, right? The way that they do on TV. So
more advertisers inside the
integrated
show.
Things into the show. So if you watch WWE, you see how they have like the digital boards around the ring and everything now. Those have logos on them when they're sponsored. You start to see it in some of their bigger events like WrestleMania, where they'll sell like a Snickers sponsorship for a match, and its Snickers logo is around the ring. It doesn't change the on-air product. It doesn't change the match itself.
No.
It's just more revenue. So maybe more of those integrations, but maybe they will go with commercial breaks. Maybe there will be. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to be doing.
Other streamers do it. Like Prime introduced their commercial, and people don't seem to be too mad about it. It's only like 30 seconds now and again. So if you can do that and get away with it, and people aren't going to be too offended where they're going to unsubscribe from you, then yeah.
Do you feel weird about sports on streaming?
I used to.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to the idea. What I don't want to see happen is I don't want to see, if I want to watch a Jays game, I need Amazon Prime. And if I want to watch wrestling, I need Netflix. And if I want to watch a hockey game, well, that's Hulu or whatever. That I don't want to happen. But I'm going to tell you, what this is going to do is this is going to thin the herd. The strong will survive, and I have a feeling that on the other end of this, Netflix is basically going to become the modern day 2024 or 2025 equivalent of cable. You just can't live without Netflix. And all they have to do is they got WWE, they've got the specials like the live Joe Rogan specials coming up. They've got the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Yeah, that's right, sweetie. And they also
She's watching that for show.
And they're dabbling with, is it NFL or NHL?
All of them. I think they're kind of dabbling with everybody.
They're basically going to make it so that if you want to be able to watch all of the hockey or all of the any of the wrestling, you're going to need Netflix, and it's just going to be in every home.
Can I just say they're good at it though? Because I've had streaming services on and off. I've had Disney, then it went away. Then I brought it back. I've done Prime, then went away. Then I brought it back because I get Prime anyway. So I'm like, okay, I'll just keep this one. I've done Paramount Plus and I've done Apple TV.
Tubi.
All the things, but I'll say like some of them I drop when it's in between seasons of shows I like on there.
Yeah.
Netflix, I have not dropped. Netflix, I have kept.
That's the one I've always kept too.
Yeah,
it's consistent. Yeah,
but it's going to be a new world. I'm excited for it. It's not that far away, so they're already working on what they're.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
excited to see what they're going to do too.
Yeah.
The best part about Netflix in particular carrying the sporting events is, while it is frustrating that I have to pay now to watch these things, I love the fact that I can watch it on demand. And hockey games don't normally end up like that. And WWE, if you miss Raw, you missed Raw. It's a bit of a process to go and get caught up. I love the fact that whether I watch it live or a minute after it ends, it's going to be right there at your fingertips, basically on demand. So that's awesome too. I think that's a good little feature that people are going to love. So good for Netflix. Yeah, I mean, they're doing everything right. They're going in the right direction. And they did apparently survive the outage of today. As we record right now, there's no resolution, but there's some sort of major outage that they swear wasn't a hack. You know what else they do sometimes when there's a hack? They swear it's not a hack.
Everything but a hack.
Yeah, this is like a third party I'd never heard of before. What's the name of it again? I found it a little while ago. Whatever. I'm probably going to forget about it after today.
McGillicuddy Security Systems.
Sure. So McGillicuddy went down, but it impacted a lot of different things, including those who have TD Bank. If you bank with TD and you were supposed to get paid today and didn't, you are not alone. We heard from a lot of people on the show who texted in saying, I didn't get my pay because of the outage. There was that. Planes grounded because of it, which is so weird to me because we were able to fly before all this shit happened, but now it's like, oh, computer system's down, nobody can fly.
I saw somebody post on social a handwritten boarding pass.
Yeah.
And they I've never seen this before. Somebody had to literally write out all the info.
I feel like, why can we not have a system why don't we have backup for shit like this? Because I feel like it happens a lot lately. When I say a lot, I know I don't mean every day, but it happens a decent amount where you go, should we not have some things in place for when this does happen? Because technology is only going to get better, which is a good thing for some people and a better thing for hackers.
It's not okay, especially in the times we find ourselves in, for somebody to not get their paycheck on time.
Right.
People are counting on that.
Yeah.
And it's not TD's fault, nearest I can tell. It's I don't
know
know if,
that they use.
I don't know if, I've heard conflicting stories about whether or not this is actually a Microsoft problem or if it actually is a third-party vendor that's only affecting Microsoft, but it doesn't change the fact that most of us have got a little Microsoft computer right on their desk right now. And it sucks when it goes down. The fact that people have money, but they don't have money is
Ellie,
difficult.
Good point.
Ellie, how are you doing here with the pod so far?
You having fun, Ellie?
Oh, good. That's adorable.
She really likes that microphone sock. Do we have an extra one we could just give
I'll
her
get
to
her
play
one.
with?
Oh, she's punched in the face.
She
with a
probably needs
microphone.
one to play. I usually have some weird things in my purse that babies can play with, but none of these are safe right now, so I'm not going to hand any of them to her.
In just a minute, by the way, Dave, we are going to play a Janet Jackson interview clip from yesterday.
Have you interviewed Janet Jackson before, Dave?
I've met her. I don't think I've interviewed her though.
Okay.
I've
You've
interviewed her, and I believe every word of this clip. I mean, when she says,
It makes sense to you.
This is an all right radio interview, but I don't like doing radio interviews. So if there's no more questions, that's great. And
Do you want to hear? Actually, here.
Yeah, I wanna hear this.
Let's play it.
That is a please stop asking me that you feel like maybe it just comes up a little bit too much.
Ooh, and I don't mean to be rude, but I have to be honest with you. Please stop asking me questions. And I don't mean that because I've never thought that I was I gave a good interview. I really don't like speaking. So I'd rather stay quiet and listen to other people talk. And that's always been me. So I'd rather just be quiet and listen to others.
okay.
So don't ask me questions. Are we finished?
Don't ask me questions. Are we finished? You know what? She's reminiscent of her brother to me because I've seen a lot. I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, so I've seen a lot of specials. And before his death, he did an interview, but he didn't like the sit down interviews either. Instead, he took the reporter out shopping with him, which was so interesting because he had so much money. So he would just walk into like an art museum. He's like, come with me. Come with me. I'm going to show you around. I'm going to take 9 of those vases. And they're like, okay, that's $900,000.
Uncanny impression, by the way.
Thank you. I'm going to take 5 art pieces. And he just like walked around the museum and just bought shit instead of doing like a sit down interview. And the interviewer was trying to like pry some info from him. I feel like maybe it's a family thing because I remember him not liking that shit either. I think it's fair for her to not like it, but I also question like, did her PR people make her sit down for this? Because obviously she doesn't want to be there.
It's really hard to do an interview if you can't ask them any questions.
It's so awkward, right? I think we've all been in that scenario. For Scott, Janet's one of them. For me, I recall like Lorde being similar. Remember when Lorde was big and Royals was out? Scott and I sat down with Lorde.
Are we spilling tea here? Is that
We
what
can
we're
spill
doing?
some tea.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
I don't, you know what? I don't even mean to like shit on Lorde, for example, in this case. But I think
she'd appreciate that either.
I don't think she wants it. I don't know. How do you fucking know?
Yeah.
But
Isn't Lorde just Billie Eilish before there was Billie Eilish, though? Like, she tried to occupy that space, and it just didn't work out
You think it's
for her.
Billie Eilish before Billie Eilish grew her hair out? Is that
She is.
Lorde and Billie Eilish might be the same person.
Ready
I'm
for
just
this?
saying.
She is Billie Eilish-ish. Yes.
She's Biddy Eilish.
She's Billie Eilish.
She's Billie
Billie
Eilish.
Eilish. But she didn't want to be there. Like, honestly, like, we met up in, like, a hotel. It was, like, a mezzanine, too. Remember? It wasn't even, like, a hotel room. We were in, like, a mezzanine area of a hotel, and she sat down, like, her physicality showed us, I don't want to fucking talk to you people. She had, like, a hunched back, and she was talked very quietly. You can actually find that online somewhere. And we managed to make her smile. And I remember you and I were like, thank fucking God Sorry, I keep swearing. Ellie, don't listen to me.
Oh.
Sorry.
Auntie Kat's a
Why
terrible
did you brought
influence.
your baby into here?
Yep. I brought her into
Doing?
a very,
You
very
brought her into this.
unsafe space, isn't it?
It's okay. Once I had to have one of my girls in here,
Yeah.
and I had to put headphones on her and give her an iPad so that she didn't hear Scott swearing. Like he was going on a rant, and he was
Really?
like F F S. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it, but
Goddamn Bank of Canada.
yeah. Tiff Macklin, that son of a beep. And she'd like move her headphones, and I'd be like, "Don't move your headphones."
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I did interview Janet Jackson, and I believe every word of that. There's something about that family. I think they value privacy.
I get
and,
it.
Oh, you think
though.
that's what it is?
I
And
understand.
I think it's also a modesty thing. I think they're very, very shy, the entire Jackson family. So I'm not entirely surprised that interviewer got that out of Janet Jackson, although it can't feel good when you're interviewing someone and they ask, are we done yet?
Please stop asking questions.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here.
That's the worst feeling ever. Like, how could you interview somebody and that's how they're acting?
Yeah. Well, we did a little trip down memory lane on the radio show today. We can go a little further in depth on this part of the pod, talking about some of the interviews that we've done over the years where it was awkward, really good, really bad. I have a tentative list. Do you want to go one for one here, Kat?
Sure.
I can throw in a couple interesting ones too.
I
along
would
the
love
way.
to hear that.
I made a couple of notes on who I think would be your favorites, actually. Here, look at the top of that paper. Am I right?
You're close. Yeah, you're close.
You got to do the top one?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I think you told me about that. That's cool.
Those two were fun. There's been a couple extra that I'll throw in there as fun ones, and then ones that went really bad.
Right. Okay,
there's a couple of those too.
No shortage of those. I'll throw it out there right
Well,
away.
there is a shortage. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
I still think Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 was my favorite interview.
That's
that's a
so
good
random.
one.
I love it's always the random celebrities. It's not like the ones that you would figure because like I would have never even thought about him.
And I didn't either. In fact, we didn't even really play him because I was on a top 40 station and he was more of that hot adult contemporary sound.
I'll tell you why we interviewed him. I still remember it.
Why?
Because you're so smooth.
Oh my
It was like the biggest star in the world.
Oh,
at
it
the
was when
time.
Smooth
He
came
was,
out.
yes.
Santana had a run.
Santana, yes.
Where those songs were all bangers.
Played by Carlos Santana.
Yeah. Maria, Maria.
Oh,
like
yeah.
all good. So good. Anyway.
So he's a smoker, or he was at the time. I don't know if he still is. So he asked if he could have a cigarette during the interview. And I said, can I have a cigarette during the interview?
Really? That's hilarious.
So we sat there for, I think the interview was scheduled for like 10 minutes. We sat there for almost an hour, chain smoking and drinking coffee and just shooting the shit about music. And he is a huge fan of radio in general. He still loves it and appreciates it. And as someone in radio, I really appreciate artists who appreciate the radio airplay.
Yeah.
So we had a great chat. Rob Thomas is such a cool dude. This one, I'll do one more and then you go. People have the wrong idea about this next one.
Is this a good one or a bad one?
Good one.
Okay.
People have the complete wrong idea about this woman. Jennifer Lopez is one of the sweetest, kindest, most genuine women you could ever meet. Jennifer Lopez is legit. Ben Affleck is an idiot. Make it work. Figure it out, Ben.
Oh, I
yeah,
thought
but
there was like
listen,
a thing.
I'm sure she was sweet when you sat down with her for a few minutes, but I think in marriage things are a little bit different. When you have paparazzi following you everywhere, that's a little bit different.
No, I swear. I
Okay,
won't admit
that's
it.
fine. You know what?
Jennifer
I-
Lopez is just great.
I have never interviewed her, but remember when we were at the Fairmont in Toronto, and you were texting me. We were hosting an award show at the Fairmont, and it was during TIFF, and you were texting me because I was walking toward where you were, and you were like, "J-Lo's right behind you." J-Lo is literally walking right behind you, and I fucking missed her. Oh, sorry, I missed her. I keep swearing, and sorry, Ellie.
Reminder.
You're gonna drop her back off to her mother, who's gonna hear her swear.
Reminder of the
multiple
terrible person
times.
she is. Go ahead. Let her know.
And you were like, she's right behind you, and she was literally walking behind me. I totally missed out. I do like J-Lo I do like J-Lo though. I've got nothing against her.
Sweet girl. I think she's very misunderstood.
I don't know. One of my highlights for me was still Lady Gaga, but that's only because it's a fun story. She didn't let us take pictures, which at the time was a bummer because I was like, I wanted to show people that I've interviewed Lady Gaga, but you can find the audio, fine. But when she strolled up in her massive platform shoes, which were like a foot tall,
Yeah.
casually, by the way, she was in a casual state. Her wardrobe was pretty casual, but she had these massive platforms on, like she does it all the time. And then she had like a cart of tea and was like, "Would you guys like a tea? I'm gonna make a tea." And then I stupidly said no when I should have, because I wanted to be able to today tell you Lady Gaga made me a tea. I can't do that now
Yeah,
because I
you should
said
have the
no.
tea.
I said no. Why did I? Because I was too nervous. I didn't want to be bother. I should have said yes.
should
But I thought
Do you
she
have a
was
chamomile?
Well, do whatever you want.
I'll have an English breakfast, please.
It's so funny though. There's still those celebrities that I feel like that's the way you feel about them. You know, you're just like music wise, celeb. One of my favorites was a convo I had with John Hamm, who wanted to chat hockey with me, and I loved it.
John Hamm.
Also, screw John
plus he's
Hamm.
handsome.
Screw John Hamm.
Stop
He's
it.
funny. He's good looking.
He's so awesome.
He's a good actor.
I love him.
It's like, come on, have a fault, dude.
I know. Oh, big dick. Yeah.
Huge dick.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Brain is
Now, I don't
massive.
know that from experience, but have you seen the photos? Google it if you're interested.
You don't wear shorts like that if you can't show it off.
John Hamm is right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad. Your bad list. Oh wait, your good list first. Give us your number one.
I loved our interview with Weird Al.
Weird Al Yankovic.
He was great.
He made that list that we just talked about the other day, Scott. We were talking about there was a list that was like celebrities that will never let you down, and Weird Al's on it. I can take her if you want, but I don't think she wants me. Do you want to come with me? Do you want to come with the Auntie Cat? Good old Auntie Cat.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I am anti-cat. Yeah, I am anti-cat.
Ellie, do you want to come here?
go see Cat.
I don't think she wants to. Do you want to come here? Hi. Oh, no, instantly.
Let's see if it works.
Oh, thank God it
You
happened
can
to you
still
and not
see,
me.
But you can still see Daddy.
Hi.
You can still see Daddy.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
Good calming technique there, Kat. What'd you do?
Oh, I don't know if it's going to work long. That's my... Yes, okay. She's completely turned her body away
Away
from
from
mine. Nice Crocs, though. Cute. All right, bye.
I will say I love the Weird Al interview. That was so much fun because I've been a fan of his forever. The worst interview, shockingly, was with 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
And all of G Unit.
Really? You interviewed the whole G Unit?
I interviewed all of G Unit. I still remember, I went to Much Music to interview them in like an office. They brought me in, sat me down. They had all just smoked the most weed any human beings have ever smoked. Mm-hmm. And 50's hard to understand on a good day. Sure. I couldn't make out a word they said. Any of them. It was and then I'd be like, how do I expand on that? So I would just ask something else, and then it would go, and they'd all start laughing. I'm like, how did you guys know what you said? I couldn't understand a word you said. So it was so bad, we didn't even use the audio.
Yeah, we couldn't.
There was nothing to play. There was nothing to play. They didn't say anything I could use. Nothing. I had to put the microphone down 50's throat in order to get a sound.
Okay, so talking about some of the worst ones that we've done, I'm going to throw another one out there, and this is going to segue in perfectly from a segment earlier in the pod. One time we agreed to do an interview with a new artist because her dad was famous. We had Brooke Hogan on. That was when Brooke was just getting into music. And when she was just getting into music, she had a couple of good songs, Girl Fight and such. But Hulk Hogan...
It's about to be a girl fight. Was that her song?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So Hulk Hogan would go with his daughter to do media interviews because it opened a lot more doors, including our door. So we sat down to do this interview with Brooke Hogan, and she's doing what pop stars do. Oh, I like the music and I like to dance and blah, blah, blah.
I worked with this really talented producer.
Can you just shut the fuck up? I want to talk to your dad.
He's right there. And so is Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart questions, and I felt like an asshole doing that.
Yeah. But we got an interview with Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart.
An interview with Hulk Hogan. It was one of the best days of my life. It was amazing.
It was cool.
My worst, I didn't even get to interview because he blew right past me with sunglasses on indoors.
Sunglasses on indoors. Who would this be?
He's part of the Avengers.
Ooh, is it Robert Downey Jr.?
No.
Because he's always wearing sunglasses.
No.
He was born with sunglasses. A lot of people don't know that.
I've heard that. It was Jeremy Renner, which was so this is pre-snowplow crush, so I wonder if he's nicer.
There's an AD.
Before he died.
I wonder if,
There's a BC before crush.
You know that.
And an AD after death. He died.
You know that things like that can change a person, though.
Oh, yeah.
So it's possible he's nicer. But what I will say is this happened before. He was promoting a movie called Tag, shit movie. This is the same time I met John Hamm. John Hamm, sweetheart. Ed Helms, funny, great guy. He had brought the energy. He was willing to answer questions.
Moderate ham. Not as big as John, but moderate ham.
Reasonable.
Reasonable.
Reasonable ham.
Moderate ham.
And then it wasn't even like Jeremy Renner's not available today. He's sick. Nothing like that. He literally showed up to the interview, looked at all of us fucking peasants, sunglasses on, and walked right past all of us who were ready and willing to interview him if he was wanting to.
Was it like a red carpet kind of thing?
It was a red carpet, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a premiere.
Can I tell you my favorite red carpet was when Scott had to interview me on the red carpet.
You had to interview Dave? What for?
I still am not okay with that.
I'd like you to tell the story, and then I'll jump in and fix the things that you don't give accurate descriptions of.
So back in the day, they used to host the MMVAs, the Much Music Video Awards, and they would get all the media in, and we would line up along Queen Street as people were going into the Much Music building to prepare for the show. So we're doing the red carpet thing, and we had run a contest of some sort where listeners got to go and walk the red carpet and go in a limo and stuff like that. When you're in the pit, and it was always on fucking Father's Days when they used to do the MMVAs.
Yeah. And so it was always 100 degrees.
Yeah, it was always hot, and I was miserable and sweating like crazy. There's no shade on Queen Street in Toronto.
And when you're in a media scrum, this is media from the entire country. There's people from the U.S. here. There's international media. Everyone's crammed into this little cage of guardrails.
Yeah. So like the TV red carpet goes from like here to the road over there.
Yeah.
The radio one, they stuck twice as many people in an area half the size.
Sure.
So we're
usually
shoulder
the way
to shoulder.
It goes, yeah.
I just finished doing some pretty questionable interview. I'm not even sure who it was I was talking to. They'll send anybody down the red carpet as I'm about to demonstrate. And then coming down the red carpet, and every time somebody gets out of a limo, the crowd is like, oh, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Fucking Dave getting out of the limo.
How did you manage? Like, what happened?
So I'm going to correct one part of the story. There was never a red carpet for the winners. It was a mistake. So the contest was that you get to go backstage with us at the MMVAs. That was the contest.
Oh, right.
The limo was an added bonus to get us to the MMVAs. But when we were in the lineup of all the cars and all the limos going in for the artists to walk the red carpet, one of the handlers just said, "Limo, who's in there?" Rolled down the window, looked, it was me. And then they went, go in that line there. And that was the red carpet line. I didn't know. So we pulled up. And
it was accidental.
Yeah. I'm like, we're at the red carpet. So I'm walking, and I still remember this. I get out of because Scott's right. Everyone goes nuts when someone gets out of the limo. I get out. People cheer, and the cheer ended real quick. I was like, yeah. Like they made no, save it. It's not Chad Michael Murray. We don't have to cheer.
Not interested.
And I was like, all right, cool. So, and then eventually somebody knew who I was. Like, hey, it's Dave. And I was like, somebody got it. And I'm like standing there, like signing autographs for people. They're like, I don't know who this is. And I'm just being ridiculous. So I walk up to the media area, and there's Scott, drenched in sweat, like dying, like he'd been in the rain we had earlier this week.
Yeah.
Like he was soaked, he was miserable. He was like, "Get me the hell out of here! Like I can't stand it." So I walk up and I was like, "Hello," and he goes, "Oh, give me a break! What?" And he's like, "Come on!" And he used different language, but I'm gonna be mindful of that. But he was so mad, and I was like, "Any questions?" And so other media who don't, from other parts of the country, they're just trying to get audio.
Yeah.
So they're interviewing me. I have nothing to say.
Mm-hmm. Did you try to fake it though?
Oh,
good.
I couldn't even tell you what I said.
You could do all kinds of things. Like you're good with accents and impressions. You could have faked an entire interview pretending you were someone else.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, it could go backwards.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, it would have been great. But Scott just stood there like, how is this a thing that's happening right now?
Why is this happening? What a waste of my time. He's probably thinking.
I think the best interview you ever did though was Jeremy Piven.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Jeremy Piven
I
didn't get to meet him.
We used that audio after you left the radio station. Scott and I were on. We used that audio.
Did you? Yeah.
Yes, because it was good.
It was good. Seth MacFarlane was a lot of fun.
That was such a good one. Well, you are you guys buddies now? Because you were sitting there drinking together for ages.
Yeah, I don't know.
Before I even knew what was going on. I think you said, "Hey, that's Seth MacFarlane." And at the time, Family Guy was brand new. I didn't really know who Seth MacFarlane was.
So it had come back. Remember how it went away for a while? And
I
there was
remember
like the fan buzz and became a bit of a cult hit. So it came back. This was just after it had come back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, I'm a big fan. So we started talking. He recorded a little thing for us and didn't ask him to do it. But he recorded a little things. We call them drops in radio. This is giving you a little behind the scenes. And it's when an artist says, hey, I'm so-and-so, and you're listening to this radio station.
Yeah, we're listening to my new song right now.
Yeah.
Turn it up.
Seth MacFarlane does one. And he's just like, you're listening to Scott, Ashley, and Dave. And he does it in the Stewie voice.
Yeah. And
then he starts going, he's like, I like Scott and Ashley. He goes, but Dave, he's a prick. He owes me $20. And he like just went in this whole rant, asked Stewie about me. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, he'd be a cool one.
Now, he was great. He was really fun and just playful and just enjoyed chatting.
Well, he was dating somebody, and he wasn't actually supposed to be there as Seth MacFarlane. He was just there as the plus one of the pop star that he was dating. And I remember thinking, we're here to interview the pop star, not this fucking guy. I don't know who that is. And then you ended up having a great conversation with him.
Yeah, I think he was dating Janet Jackson at the time.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't do interviews. He would on her behalf.
It all makes sense.
All comes around, friends.
Right? Is there anything else we got to do here in this episode?
Well, we got to go through apologies eventually. First and foremost, can I apologize to Ellie for hearing anything negative that she heard during this past 30 minutes or so?
A lot of curses in cursive.
Only appropriate to apologize to the little ones who happen to hear this pod. Okay, then before we go, there's just one more thing. Over in Italy, and I feel like this happens every summer when people make their pilgrimages to Europe. Italy is a very beautiful country, popular tourist attraction, especially in the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
However, some of the local Italians are growing tired of our North American bullshit and treating their most sacred places like a playground. In Florence, photos of a female tourist groping a beloved statue and miming a sex act with the statue have triggered outrage, with some officials calling for an end to the bad behavior from foreigners. In one image, a woman is seen standing at the base of a life-size statue of the Roman god Bacchus as she holds its dick and pretends to kiss it.
Aww.
In another photo, a woman is bent over, somewhat performing a lewd act with that figure. The photos have sparked a fury among Florentines. Some are calling for the women's arrest and the expulsion from Italy.
I actually have exclusive audio of the reaction of the locals.
Oh, yeah?
The Italians.
Okay, let's play that.
This was it. Here
It's
it
exclusive.
is. hey, come on. Hey.
Fuck, it's like when I go to my in-laws.
Hey. And the funny thing is that can mean your shoes are on the carpet, or it can mean we're so happy to see you. Oh, hey, it can be anything.
You never know.
I don't know if I told you, but I'm learning Italian through Babbel.
Yeah, that's so cool. You make me want to try to get Babbel and see what happens here.
Honestly, it is so good. It helps you learn languages in a fun and easy to understand way. They're still not paying me for this, although I'm open to it, Babbel. You go ahead and give me a call.
We should send this off to them, see what they can do.
And it's good. I'm learning a lot. It's fantastic, but there's a few trip ups. Like you can say ciao to say hi or bye to someone, and that's a strange one.
That's
for me.
confusing.
Yeah, little things like that. But anyway, back to the original problem here. Maybe the problem is not North Americans going over to Italy and getting all excited because their statues have penises on them. Maybe the problem is that we haven't normalized statues with penises here.
We should have more of them.
You think we need more penis statues or statues featuring penises?
And the first one I'm going to nominate is Doug Ford. We're going to do a Doug Ford nude statue. No?
No.
You want Trudeau first?
No, I don't want either of them.
No, you want a big Trudeau dick statue?
No, I do not.
The John Hamm one would be a big statue.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going down to the park to see the John Hamm tripod. Who's with me?
I could just picture the Doug Ford when he's holding a couple Timbits right there.
Oh, not a breakfast wrap.
Folks,
Where's my farmer's
check out
wrap?
my Timbits. Welcome to Ontario.
My Timbits and farmer's wrap.
Maybe we need more nude statues in Canada to normalize this before we head off to Europe.
I think
Almost
we
like
need
a practice run.
I think we need different kinds of bodies to be represented in these statues.
That's why I suggested
Yeah.
the premier, but you're welcome to put forth any other suggestions. I said Trudeau. I mean, we have... No, there's no Trudeau
Kathleen
statues
Wynne,
yet.
you want to go? How far back do you want to go here?
Oh, interesting one. We could do she doesn't have anything named after her or any statues yet. We could do that. Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara.
Great
Okay,
Canadian.
yeah.
She's a great Canadian.
Love her.
Do we need a nude
I
statue?
don't know if we need a new statue of Catherine O'Hara, but I do love her.
Let's normalize it. Why are we making rules?
Right? Sure.
You're quite the celebrity yourself, Dave. Maybe a you statue somewhere in Kitchener would be
Would you
great.
want a foreigner to come along and pretend to fornicate with you and your statue?
Sure, have fun. You know what? I would insist on mine though that my parts are a windmill, so you can go up and just like whee, like spin it. Yeah, I want you to look at me and be like, "You're gonna spin it like a helicopter, North Carolina." Yeah, I'm getting some P.D. Pablo crunk with my naked statue.
You can make it skeet, skeet, skeet even. I mean, the technology is, like the abilities these days.
I would like
a little fountain. Skeet, skeet.
put me in the Eaton Center as a nude fountain. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Nude fountain at the Eaton Center
When
would
you
be
make
just
a wish-
appropriate.
What about
Skeet, skeet, motherfucker!
You like that?
Oh,
huh?
sorry, Ellie. That was really inappropriate.
There's a kid here.
That
Like, how
was-
many times do you need to be told?
Sorry, listen, you're here because he didn't. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We'll
Pull
tell
out?
you about that one day. Yeah.
You're here because Daddy felt randy.
One day you're gonna know, and you're not gonna like it.
Nope. You're like, you did what?
To my
To my
mom?
mother?
Oh, boy. Okay, we got to go. Who do we owe an apology to?
We could start at the very beginning and apologize to everyone.
Everyone?
I think from the dawn of time.
Oh,
like
good.
let's go
Okay.
back to the
Okay.
Big Bang and apologize for it all, because it is a mess out there, friends.
Yes,
it's a
it
mess.
is.
Now the world deserves an apology, but we still have to separate and give Mike Tyson an apology.
Yeah.
It's a
Not
good
for any reason in
idea.
particular, just because it's a good idea. I hope he's feeling better.
He
by
is.
the way,
Apparently, he started training again after
Don't
the
stop
ulcer.
it. Enough with the boxing.
he's-
Don't do it.
He's looking good, feeling good, and November 15th is going to be a great day for him.
okay.
I think so, too. But did we ever find out what was wrong with them?
Ulcer is what we heard. That's what we've been told.
Okay. All right. I apologize for doubting him. Actually, there's
How
another
fucking-
good one.
How fucking dare you even ask? Sorry, I keep swearing. I gotta stop now.
You
How
have
do
a
you stop yourself in
problem.
front of the kids? Or do
I
you anymore?
because this is the pod studio. I have a mental ability. Like in that studio over there where we do the radio show, I will not swear. Even
that
when
makes
you're on
sense.
air with me,
Yeah.
and you're there too, right? All of us are
Well,
together.
I would hope specifically
no
you wouldn't
swearing.
do it when I'm on.
I
there
wouldn't
with
do it
you.
in front of my boss anyway. But I wouldn't do it in there. But I'll
know
do
what?
it in here. It's just this is where I let it go. And at home, I don't in front of the kids.
I'm a model employee. I don't swear on the radio.
Yeah.
I
You really
do
hang
the
your hat
bare,
on that one,
I
Kelly.
do, listen, I do the bare minimum. Me. to not get fired.
Good for you.
Yes, you do.
Good for you.
One more thing before we go, and I did not even know this. Dave and I, did you and I start the holiday violations?
Yeah.
That was like 15, 20 years ago or something, right?
Yeah, where do you hear this?
So get this. Kat just casually says this morning, oh, they're opening up a Spirit Halloween already.
What?
In London on
Where?
Wonderland Road. Coming
It's
soon.
July.
Now, to be fair, there's a sign that says coming soon, but apparently they're accepting applications to work there because some people work there seasonally, right? Because they love Halloween, like especially the Halloween-loving people.
No, I agree, Ellie. No.
No, thank you.
Don't work at Spirit Halloween in July. That's ridiculous. That is a hell of a holiday
It's
violation.
probably opening in August. Calm down.
Unless they sell back to school supplies,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
I was going to say, when's the back to school sale start at Spirit Halloween?
Hey man, Wednesday Addams is big in schools.
That's true.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for downloading After 9. We've got a whole week of brand new episodes coming your way next week.
Bye.
I read that nearly 7,000 pounds of hot dogs shipped to multiple states were recalled due to lack of inspection. I'd be more shocked that hot dogs aren't inspected.
Great news for you doomsday preppers out there, because Costco now sells 150 servings of food that lasts 25 years in what's being referred to as an apocalypse bucket. Okay, but apocalypse bucket is already the nickname for Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl.
According to a new survey, 95% of dog owners said that they watch movies with their pets, or, and hear me out, the dog just lives there and doesn't have a choice.
Do you guys see this? A dinosaur fossil just sold at auction for a record $45 million. A $45 million fossil, yeah. In related stories, Nicolas Cage is bankrupt.